American paratroopers arrived in Poland. Polish authorities reported the arrival of representatives of the American Airborne Division in the country. A statement to this effect was made by the Polish Defense Ministry. Soldiers of the 82nd U.S. Airborne Division will reinforce the U.S. forces already deployed in Poland, the ministry said in a statement posted on its Twitter page. Polish authorities stressed that American paratroopers had already held joint exercises with the Poles. Earlier, the CBS American channel reported that Washington decided to send 1,700 soldiers to Poland and about 300 to Germany. Peskov ruled out the possibility of Russia leaking the U.S. security response. Moscow is not responsible for leaking to the media the U.S. and NATO response to Russia's proposals on security guarantees. This is ruled out, Russian presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov stressed. Earlier, U.S. Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs Victoria Nuland blamed Russia for this. According to this version, Russia itself allegedly transmitted to El País the contents of the U.S. responses to the proposals on security guarantees. "We have a negative attitude," Peskov said when asked about the reaction to such an allegation. "We do not allow such a possibility." The Kremlin spokesman regretted that Washington is very often certain of what later turns out to be untrue. Earlier, Peskov had already said that Moscow had nothing to do with the publication of the responses. The Russian head of state stated on February 1st that the principal Russian concerns in the US and NATO responses were ignored. These include preventing NATO expansion, refraining from installing shock weapons systems near Russia's borders, and returning the bloc's military infrastructure in Europe to its 1997 status, Vladimir Putin specified. Lavrov called U.S. statements about Russia preparing video provocations nonsense. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called U.S. statements about Russia allegedly preparing video provocations to attack Ukraine nonsense. "It's not for me to guess why our Western colleagues are surprised for any reason or no reason, mostly for no reason, or for reasons that they make up themselves," the head of Russian diplomacy said in an interview with the Izvestia newspaper. According to Putin, the absurdity of these sorts of fabrications, of which there are more and more every day, is obvious to any political scientist with little or no experience. Earlier, U.S. authorities said that Russian special services were allegedly planning to film a video staging an attack by the Ukrainian military on Russian territory with footage of killed, destroyed buildings, grieving people, Ukrainian weapons, and Turkish-made drones. According to Washington, such a fake could be a pretext for Russia to launch military operations against Ukraine. When asked by the media to provide evidence, State Department spokesman Ned Price urged us to take the U.S. government at its word. Earlier, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said that the USA was taking media representatives out of Kiev so that they did not interfere with their editorial offices in publishing fakes. In her opinion, the absence of journalists will completely untie Washington's and London's hands in the information war and allow them to write about Russian tanks on Khreshchatyk. Zakharova assessed Nuland's words about leaks. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova commented on U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Victoria Nuland's statement that Moscow had leaked documents on security guarantees. "Victoria, judging by your statement, Russia is playing openly, and the American players are turning in red cards. Nothing new, but it's nice to hear from you," Zakharova wrote in her Telegram channel. As previously reported, the Spanish newspaper El País published documents containing the U.S. and NATO's response to Russia's security proposals. Nuland said that it was Moscow that made the confidential materials public, as they contained notes that were in the American response. This statement was commented by the Russian and U.S. embassies. They urged Washington to abandon conspiracy theories and work on strengthening of European security instead. Deputy Foreign Minister Alexander Grushko said there was nothing new and unexpected in shifting responsibility to Moscow. According to Washington's logic, Moscow is responsible for everything, he pointed out.